What's up, y'all? So today I'm gonna talk about my clothing brand, Authentik. I know last video I mentioned it a little bit, gave y'all my tags and stuff, but I'm gonna give y'all some more insight into that, show y'all some clips of my merchandise, discuss how and when I started and how the journey has been since. So I appreciate y'all for watching, and let's get right into it. So first, I'm gonna talk about how and when I started my brand off. So I started in May of 2018 as far as like my official date. Now I had been brainstorming for a couple of months. Prior to me making my brand official, I had actually started off with a friend of mine at the time, because we both were kind of like, okay, we should, start our own businesses and have something of our own. So my train of thought with that was, let me do something that I enjoy or something that I'm interested in. I don't want to, start a business for something that I don't even care about or something that I'm going to get bored of. So eventually came to the conclusion, okay, a clothing brand. I enjoy drawing, so of course, like the designs and logos and stuff like that, I could do myself. I love shopping for clothes. I love fashion. So I'm like, okay, cool. I won't get bored with that. So that's how I decided on what I wanted to do. So a couple of months of brainstorming, doing different sketches for logos and things like that. Finally, got everything together and picked the designs that I liked. And I actually came across a person that had a clothing brand that did brand building at the time. So she was able to help me pretty much get everything rolling from that point on. So what I did was I sent her all my sketches, gave her all my ideas as far as like what type of clothing I wanted to do. We had linked up a couple of times to kind of like just talk about what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go with the clothing brand. So after that, paid the fee, and she got my Shopify together, got my designs digitized, and then of course sent me mock-ups that I could send over to manufacturers to get like different sweatsuits and stuff made. And also, like I said, built my Shopify for me as well, and gave me manufacturers that she's used before. And I'll try to put her tag in here if I can. So once I did that, I talked to a couple of manufacturers, to see like what the process is, what the fees would be like, and just all the information I would need to give them, and just what the process would be like ordering my own clothes and getting them sent to me, and etc. So my first order, it took a while because of course, when you order from manufacturers, for the most part, you gotta order a bulk. You can order samples, but prices are crazy when you do that. And also, like, it just makes more sense to just, order a sufficient amount of clothes at once, or anything when you're dealing with manufacturers for any type of products. So I waited it out a little bit, finally got the funds, and decided to order my first round of clothes, and I'll put up the clips of the first set of clothes that I ordered so y'all can check it out. And then from there, the ball just rolled. So my first year, after the first order, of course I had to get a lot of pictures, a lot of people that bought from me, a lot of people that supported me, they snapped it up for me. I got my social media for my clothing brand going, and just posted as much as I could. Then eventually, I had to think of more ways to just get myself out there. So I want to say my first trip was to Atlanta, and I had went with a friend / brand ambassador of mine. I went with my cousin / brand ambassador. So we all that went out there took a trip. We actually stayed with a daughter of someone that I met on Shaper, which is like an app that you can connect with people that like want to invest in different businesses, or just want to connect with other entrepreneurs, or connect with different jobs. So I actually had added that app for business purposes, and ended up, meeting a couple that just kind of links with people to kind of help them grow. in, you know, different ways. So their daughter actually lived in Georgia, Atlanta. So we went out there with her, stayed with her. She was really cool. It was a good experience. We went to the Trap Museum. We actually ended up like in a whole short movie because she was an actor. So it was just, you know, like a good little trip. Got a bunch of pictures. Her and her friend took some pictures for me in one of my shirts at the time. It was like a really, really long shirt. Now I will say, like with manufacturers, especially when they're overseas, the sizing is so hard to get right. So when I got my first order, my short sets were cool, but the shorts were like, you know, really tight and short compared to the shirts. And then the long sleeve shirts that I had got were kind of like oversized. So I kind of like, you know, just spun it a little bit and made it into like, you know, something girls could wear with maybe like some boy shorts under it or whatever the case may be. So turned it more into like a long sleeve dress because it was the size, it was just a little bit off. Luckily I'm at a point now where I have a good manufacturer that can, you know, give me good quality as far as size goes, as far as material goes and things like that. But it took me 3 years, honestly, to find that. I mean, the manufacturers, like I said, it's overseas, so it's hard to effectively communicate as far as sizing goes, and you know, just what I'm genuinely trying to get input into my clothes. Like you can tell them, of course, exactly what you want, but somehow it just didn't translate. So I don't know, but yeah. So we went to Atlanta. Like I said, we went to the Trap Museum, got some photos there, of course. Stayed there for a few days. We actually drove out there, and then we came back to Texas. But that was my first trip. And then I placed another order, and in that order, I actually, you know, tried to explore different options, because if you go to my website, you'll see like it's more like unisex things. So you'll see the windbreakers, the jumpsuits, you know, bags and slides and stuff like that. So my second order, I was like, okay, well, let me, you know, put a little bit of everything in there for everybody. So I had like kid clothing, I had women's one pieces and stuff like that. So that was my second order. Now with my second order, it actually took me a while to sell out everything that I had bought, because again, I was just trying to see, okay, let me try to have a little something for everybody and just see how that goes for me. And it was cool, but yeah, it wasn't, I discovered that really wasn't my avenue as far as my brand went. My brand, you know, is just better as is. It was better like, you know, unisex and just keeping it simple, with stuff that, you know, men and women can wear. The kids stuff, I mean, I love kids, so I enjoyed doing that. But again, it took a while for me to get rid of that order. So now I'm kind of like, all right, well, I know where I need to kind of target my audience. And I mean, you know, when you have a business, it's trial and error. So that's all that was. But I enjoy doing different designs and coming up with, you know, different ideas and just watching them come to life as I, you know, send them out to manufacturers and get it back. So I still enjoyed that part. And in between time of orders, I also was doing some of the stuff I did were custom orders. So like, you know, if people wanted a sweatsuit of a certain color, there's like wholesale stores here. So I would go to a wholesale store and, you know, get maybe like a red jumpsuit, and of course it's blank. And I had ran into somebody that was, you know, good at the Cricut software, US cutter, and the press machines. You know, you can use those things to, you know, get your logos cut out and heat press everything onto, you know, whatever material you buy. So in between orders, I was actually doing that for a while. I did bulletproof vests as well. I even bought like blank bags from like DH Gate and stuff like that, and, you know, pressed different vinyl styles on there, just to kind of keep the ball rolling. And like I said, trial and error. Just wanted to try different avenues to see what would work for me. The custom orders were pretty cool. It's just a little bit of a hassle. Not really something I have the patience for. So as for now, I know that I kind of want to stick with ordering things from manufacturers, getting it in and, just doing photo shoots and adding everything to my website and promoting from there. I don't really care to do custom orders anymore. And plus, like, I want my brand to be my brand. I don't really want to turn it into anything else other than what I created. You know what I'm saying? So, might be a little selfish, but, either way. So, now, even though I still have all the equipment to, do different orders, I kind of stick with the manufacturer more times than none. I do sometimes, have different ideas that I know I can execute myself. So I'll go get, like I said, blank clothing and vinyl from the material stores and, just try something out. And if I press it and I like the way it looks, I'll go get, maybe 20 outfits or 20 t-shirts or hoodies or whatever it is that I create, and do a bulk order or a mini bulk order myself, and then go from there. But that usually leads to people wanting custom orders, so I try not to do it too much now, but that was my sole way of doing it for a while because it was easy to do. I knew I could press like 3 previews and then get the pre-orders from there, and then go get whatever it is I got ordered and make it. But like I said, it's a little bit of a hassle to do it that way because I'm doing it all myself. So it would be, drop a short set and, people like it. Now I got 20 orders that I gotta go get, press, and drop off, or ship. So I'm like, okay, the manufacturer route is just way more sufficient, way easier to navigate, and way less work for me. And sometimes, you gotta work smarter, not harder. So for me, that's just the best way to go about it. Now the second thing I did that really stands out in my mind, I did a fashion show. And that was pretty cool, man. Like, that really solidified everything for me as far as my brand went. Like, at that point, I knew, like, I wasn't gonna let up. I knew this is what I wanted to do, and this is where I was gonna stay and keep going. That really just let me know I'm where I'm supposed to be, and this is where I need to be. So I really enjoyed that, and I'll maybe throw in a clip or a picture from my fashion show as well. But I really enjoyed that. We did a whole walk. We did a whole introduction, because of course it wasn't just my brand. It was different brands. We even had like artists perform at the end of the show. All my family came out. Half of my friends were my models. So it was pretty dope, man. It was nothing but good vibes, and I really enjoyed that. Where else? Houston, of course, and I did a fashion show out there too, and that one was dope. There was a lot of dope brands at that showcase, and that was actually in 2021, so that wasn't too long ago that I did that fashion show. That one was dope, and again, solidified, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to be doing. A lot of people enjoyed my show, and my, my clothes and my brand. When the models came out, when I came and spoke, a lot of people enjoyed it. So that felt pretty good. And like I said, that solidified yet again, this is what I want to be doing. So that was pretty dope. But yeah, I've tried to do a little traveling, did some trial and error as far as how I want my clothes made, and what I want them made of, because when you do a clothing brand, a lot of times you have to pay attention to your materials as well, because you can execute your design and the style perfectly, but if the fabric is not put together well, or if the fabric is not the right fabric, it's still not gonna be what you want, in my opinion. So, but now I feel that I'm in a good solid place as far as the manufacturer I use, the materials that I'm using, the designs that I have. I feel real confident in that now. And I mean, as I said, I've had so many things to solidify, hey, this is what I want to be doing, and this is where my focus is going to be at. So, and like I said, we're almost 4 years in now, so I'm good. I'm good as far as, you know, my attitude and my confidence goes within myself about my business. So I don't know what to do from here as far as, like, you know, events and things, but I do know I will be entering into more fashion shows. I do a lot of vendor shows, pop-up shops, you know, just to kind of pass out cards and of course bring my merch with me and get some sales going. But, you know, for the most part, connections are important. You know, you gotta link with people that are going to put you in a room with beneficial people, you know. So I've been fortunate enough to, yes, run into people that have put me on to numerous events. Shout out to Hefe. He for sure is always linking me in to different events and vendor shows and stuff like that. So I really appreciate him. Even though I can't make it to all of them, or, you know, whatever the case may be, he will always at least give me the opportunity to be somewhere and show up and get my brand the exposure that it really needs. And yeah, so today, the only point I'm at is getting some more promo, getting some more exposure. You know, at this point, I think I just need to put the right people in my clothing brand, get the right advertisement, and there's nowhere to go but up from here. My brand is dope. You know, can't nobody tell me different. And I'm just ready for the world to see what I see. I'm ready for the world to fall in love with Authentik. And I know it's coming. So yeah, but I appreciate y'all for listening. And if there's any questions about how to start a clothing brand or a business in general, y'all feel free to you know, inbox me on social media. Again, all my tags are in my bio, so y'all feel free to reach out if y'all have any questions about my brand, anything that I didn't speak about in the video. By all means, reach out to me, follow me, support me, go to my website, shop, all that. And I appreciate y'all in advance. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next video.